would be strengthening efforts to promote the tourism industry. Additionally, discussions focused on promoting the tourism sector through environmental and cultural avenues. Special attention was given to uniting all stakeholders from both the formal and informal sectors to advance the country's tourism industry. Ministers Dr. Sunil Senevi and Dr. Dhammika Patabande, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, Buddhika Hewavasam, Director General of the Department of Wildlife Conservation, Chandana Surya Bandara, and several other officials were present at this occasion.
An aircraft belonging to Centrum Airline arrived at the Mattala International Airport today carrying 194 tourists. The aircraft came from the Tashkent International Airport in Uzbekistan. This group of tourists visited the country following a discussion between the representatives of Centrum Airlines and Sri Lankan tourism authorities. The discussion was held under the guidance of Minister Vijitha Hera. The group of tourists and aircraft staff were warmly welcomed at the Mattala International Airport. After the present government came into power, the Mattala International Airport operates about 15 flights a week. Our correspondent says that a large number of foreign tourists visit Sri Lanka from Mattala International Airport. The number of tourist arrivals in Sri Lanka this year has surpassed 2 million, and this is the highest number of tourists who visited Sri Lanka after 2018. The government's aim is to attract 3 million tourists in 2025. Meanwhile, Alla area is also abundant with tourists due to the long weekend and the year-end vacation. Income of the shop owners in Alla has also increased with this situation. Local and foreign tourists are very keen on visiting Ravanalla waterfalls. A large crowd attended to view carnivals in and around Colombo during the festive season yesterday as well. Many places in the city of Colombo have been gaily decorated for the Christmas and New Year. A special carnival ground is now in progress around Golfers Green, where people from many areas of the country are visiting to see this spectacle. A heavy traffic congestion could be seen during night in several days. A special traffic plan is in operation around Golfers Green during the New Year festive season. Police media spokesman Senior SP Buddhika Manatunga says that it will not be permitted to park vehicles at several places of middle of the road in Golfers Green. He added that visitors can park their vehicles at free parking spaces and paid parking lots in Bambalapitiya, Maradana, Kolpiti, Cinnamon Gardens, and they will be able to walk to Golfers Green. He further said that steps have been taken to operate a paid shuttle service from above-mentioned parking lots for people who are visiting Golfers Green. He observed that permission would not be granted at all to park vehicles on pavements or by the side of the road in Colombo City. He pointed out that the aim of this step is to make the day tomorrow an accident-free one and a convenient day for the visitors.
President Arun Kumar Dissanayake has directed officials to take immediate measures to suppress the drug trafficking and underworld activities that are being operated within the prison system. These instructions were given during a discussion at the Presidential Secretariat today. The President emphasized the need to expedite legal proceedings related to inmate involving drug and underworld-related activities. He also proposed adopting online methods to streamline the digital process and highlight the importance of enhancing infrastructure to address the challenges associated with such digital systems. Allegations of certain officials involved in irregular activities within the prison were also addressed during the meeting. The President instructed that disciplinary actions be supplemented with appropriate legal measures against any officials found to be involved. The discussion also focused on the vacancies of the Government Analyst Department, and the participants agreed to urgent need to fill these open positions promptly. Minister Anand Vijaypala and attorneys Harshan and Anakara and several others were present at the occasion. The all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange recorded a hike of 291.79 units today and recorded as 15,827. At the end of the day's trading, the turnover was recorded as 10.2 billion rupees.
The main reason behind this bullish trend is lower interest rate environment, as we believe, possibly where investors shifting investments from fixed income securities, and as well as the improving macroeconomic conditions amidst the credit rating upgrade. If I talk about the today's stock market performance, the Colombo Bourse started week with a day of positive sentiment and increased market activity. Amidst the increased participation from retail investors, the all-share price index closed the day in green at 15,827, gaining 292 points, making a 1.9% increase from the previous day as well. The S&P SL20 index also closed the day in green at 4,830, gaining 163 points. The most significant contributors towards the positive index were HNB Bank, NDB Bank, Sampath Bank, DFCC Bank and Ceylon Tobacco Company PLC. Amidst multiple off-board transactions, turnover stood at LKR 10.2 billion, marking an increase of 76.7% from the monthly average as well. Moreover, the banking sector led the turnover by 44%, followed by the capital goods and food, beverage and tobacco sectors jointly contributing 27% of the overall turnover. If I talk about the outlook for this week, we expect positive momentum and active participation to continue as well. With interest rates coming down, we expect interest on equity market to continue to improve amidst shifting investments from fixed income to equities.
In the meantime, the national television received 8 awards at the People's Excellency Awards Festival.
Out of it, 6 awards have been won by the news division of Rupavahini, and it has been a unique feature that the national channel was able to receive the highest number of awards at the award ceremony in the media section. People's Excellency Award ceremony was held at the BMICH in Colombo yesterday. Prominent figures from banks, businesses, media, fashion and beauty culture, including several others, received awards at the ceremony. Indika Marasinha of the national television won the award for the Best News Director of the Year. Deputy Director Vimuktika Karyavasam won the Excellency Award in Rupavahini News Leadership.
Congratulations once again, the Best Television News Director of the Year, Mr. Indika Marasinha, People's Excellency Award, Sri Lanka 2024.
Deputy Director Vimuktika Karyavasam won the Excellency Award in Rupavahini News Leadership.
Congratulations for Television News Leadership Excellence Award, Mrs. Vimuktika Karyavasam. Let's put our hands together, everybody.
Chaminda Gunaratna bagged the award for the Best Rupavahini Presenter of the Year.
Let's put our hands together for the Best Television Presenter of the Year, Mr. Chaminda Gunaratna from Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, and representing him, His Gracious Lady, collecting the presents right here of this evening.
Gamini Bandaramanikdivela of the National Television received the Leadership Award for introducing artificial intelligence in the Rupavahini field.
People's Award for Outstanding Artificial Intelligence. Congratulations, Mr. Gamini Manikdivela.
Discover Sri Lanka, feature produced by Asanka Nilagaratna, won the award for the Best Documentary Series of the Year.
The Best Television Documentary Series goes out to Discover Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation at the People's Excellency Award.
Dushanta Darshana won the award for the Distinguished Business Documentary Program of
Congratulations,
the Year.
the Best Business News Documentary Award of the Year goes out to Business in Brief by Ms. Dushanta Darshana at the People's Excellency Award 2024.
The Best Tamil Presenter and News Anchor Award was won by Mari Jaman of Netra Channel.
News Reader and Producer of the Year. Let's put our hands together once again, everybody. Representing Netra TV, Mr. M. Maria Jaman.
While Pranitha Konishwaram became the most popular presenter of the
Most
year
popular
at the award
television
ceremony.
presenter of the year at the People's Excellency Award Sri Lanka 2024 goes out to Mrs. Pranitha Konishwaran, Netra TV.
The news division of the national television took steps to present to its viewers different features of news on environment and nature, along with the introduction of AI in the Rupavahini field. Accordingly, a high viewer response was received by Rupavahini News, including YouTube and other social media. The above reasons contributed for the highest number of awards won by the news division of the national television at the People's Excellency Awards Festival. A number of distinguished guests, including parliamentarians Sujit Sanjay Pereira and Kavinda Javatana, Director General of the Government Information Department Harsha Bandara, and the Chairman of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation Gahan De Silva, participated in the award ceremony.
The government has decided to complete the payment of compensation for crop damages before the 5th of January. So far, an amount of 80 million rupees have been paid for farmers, according to the Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board. Compensation would be given for the crop of the Yala seasons from March to October 2024. This includes floods, droughts and damages caused by wild animals. About 80% of the farmers, those who applied for compensation, have been granted so far. The rest of the farmers would be given compensation by the 5th of January and the amount would be credited to their bank accounts. Compensation for the Maha season of 2025 is expected to be paid within the month of February.
Kurunagala District Parliamentarian Vijay Basanaika says that certain defeated politicians are obstructing the peace of the general public by employing various ransom groups. He made this observation to the national television on the chaotic situation which prevailed when he was attending a discussion at a factory in Benguria today. He further said that a complaint has been lodged with the police in this regard. Parliamentarian Vijay Basnaika said that basic discussions focused on the assistance received from the apparels factory and the new investments therein. He added that the government will provide the maximum support in this regard since several problems have surfaced in transportation in Benguria. He pointed out a cordial discussion was held and at the end of the meeting a large crowd had assembled in front of the gate and behaved in a violent manner. He pointed out that the Puttalam district parliamentarian Ajit Gihan was physically assaulted and verbally insulted when he was trying to come out of the meeting to his vehicle. The crowd also behaved in a way which was obstructing the duties by physically assaulting the member. He added that a large number of complaints were handed over by the people of Benguria when the mob moved out. He said that it could noted that a large ransom group of defeated politicians was in operation and they're responsible for creating a chaotic situation at this spot.
3 masons were killed through electrocution in Mampur area in Puttalam last night. When they were working in a construction site on an iron scaffolding, 4 masons were accidentally electrocuted. They were later hospitalized and declared dead. Noracholi police said that 29-year-old, 22-year-old and a 19-year-old were identified as the victims. The other person who is undergoing treatment at hospital is also in serious condition.
Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, has passed away at the age of 100.
Jimmy Carter was surrounded by his family at his home in his final moments, the Carter Center said in a statement yesterday. James Earl Carter Jr. was an American statesman and humanitarian who served as the 39th President of United States from 1977 to 1981. A member of the Democratic Party, he was the longest-lived president in US. Carter was born and raised in Plains, Georgia. He graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy in 1946 and joined the U.S. Navy's submarine service. Carter returned home after his military service and revived his family's peanut growing business. Opposing racial segregation, he supported the growing civil rights movement as a Georgia politician. Carter won the Democratic presidential nomination as an outsider dark horse candidate, defeating incumbent Republican President Gerald Ford in the year 1976. Carter was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002 for his humanitarian work. The President Anurakumara Dissanayake extended his condolences to the family and loved ones of former U.S. President Jimmy Carter. The President further asserted that his extraordinary life was marked by an unwavering commitment to peace, human rights and humanitarian affairs, in recognition of which he received the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. President Anurakumara Dissanayake stated that may the U.S. former President Jimmy Carter's legacy live on as a beacon of hope to build a better world for all.
About 400 families who have been affected by the recent floods in the Ampara area were distributed with food items yesterday. The food items, amounting to 16 million rupees, were distributed among them at the Ampara District Secretariat. The stock of food has been donated by the Chinese government under the China's Solidarity Affection Program. The food items were given to the relevant families under the patronage of the Chinese ambassador in Sri Lanka, Xi Zhenghong. In addition, 1,000 bags of dry rations were to be distributed among the affected families. It was the first stage of the program initiated yesterday. Chinese ambassador in Sri Lanka, Xi Zhenghong, said that the act of goodwill has been led to further strengthening the relationship between the countries.
Sri Lanka Customs says that around 75,000 metric tons of rice have been cleared by 11 a.m. today, since the government permitted to import rice on the 4th of this month. Amongst them are 32,000 metric tons of Kakalu rice and 43,000 metric tons of Nadu rice. Importers have cleared the entire stock from the customs, and no import or clearance of rice has been done during the weekend. The stocks of rice which were imported on Friday have been completely cleared by Saturday morning. According to customs, another stock of between 12,000 to 14,000 metric tons of rice have been imported to the country. The same has not been cleared yet. According to custom officials, the stocks would be released soon after confirming the quality of the rice for the consumption of consumers. Additional Director General of Customs C. Vediyarugoda said that the entire consignment of 75,000 metric tons of rice has been imported by the importers of the private sector. He added that it has been informed that the rice imported by the government through Satosa and State Trading Corporation is to be received in the near future. He also said that the stocks will be cleared once they are received into the country.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that the government has stabilized the nation within 3 months since assuming power. He made these observations participating in a program held at the Kaluthara area today. Minister Jayatissa made these comments after assuming duties as the Kaluthara District Development Committee Chairman. The Kaluthara District Secretary Janaka K. Gunawardana and several others joined the discussion. Minister said that many of the opponents were of the view that the appointment of the new NPP president, the economy of the country would be bankrupt and a crisis would further aggravate. He added that the expectation of them, and they sent messages to international communities requesting them not to support Sri Lanka. He pointed out that the president was able to make far-sighted decisions with the officials of the ministries. The government officials were able to stabilize the country before the end of 3 months. The minister also said the international community has accepted that Sri Lanka is on a stable path where local and foreign business community and the investors have started trusting the country. The minister observed that the stock market is now on an upward trend and discussions are now on the way for investments in the country. He further said that foreign diplomats have started trusting the government, and most of the projects which were held up during the last government have commenced with the help of new investments. He also said that the country has a positive expectation for the future. In the meantime, discussions were held recently between the ministers and a group of representatives of the Sri Lanka Electronic Broadcasters Guild at the Ministry of Mass Media. Minister Dr. Nalin Jayatissa said that there is no intention of the present government to impose media restrictions. He further said that the government fulfilled the responsibility of handling media properly for the people.
The elephant corridor in Hungamala area in Mahaveli C zone has been reopened with the aim of minimizing elephants encroaching villages. A discussion was held at the Pallegama Community Hall yesterday with regards to the human-elephant conflict that have affected Mahaveli B and C zones. Deputy Minister T.B. Sarath and wildlife officials were present at this discussion. The Deputy Minister instructed the officials to look into the possibilities of reopening the Hungamala Elephant Corridor, and after the discussion, the Deputy Minister inspected the Hungamala area. Deputy Minister said that especially in the Bulagala Division Secretariat area, farmers have engaged in farming activities in lands belonging to Elephant Corridor. He said that in an earlier discussion, farmers agreed to withdraw from this area, and however, some politicians have mediated into this matter and did not allow the wildlife officials to remove the farmers. And thereafter, no politicians will interfere with the activities of the wildlife officials. He also said that the government only provides guidance to draw a scientific solution for this problem. He said that accordingly, the wildlife officials will compulsorily remove the squatters from the area, and that the farmers who have cultivated in this season will be allowed to gather their harvests.
Now a look at a few more local items in brief. The President's Fund, currently located in the third floor of the Lake House building at Dr. D.R. Vijayawardhanamawatha, Colombo 10, will be relocated to a new premises from the 1st of January 2025. The new office will be established on the ground floor of the Standard Chartered building situated at Colombo 1, opposite the President's House in Janadipati Mawatha. The President's Media Division says that from January 1st, 2025, members of the public seeking services from the Presidential Fund will be able to visit the new offices at this location. The 77th National Independence Day celebration is scheduled to be held on the Independence Square premises in Colombo. This decision has been taken with the first Independence Day celebration organizing committee meeting held under the patronage of Minister Professor Chandana Aberatna. Ratnapura Magistrate Court today released former director of the Colombo Crime Division, ASP Neville De Silva, on bail. He was released under a bail of 50,000 rupees and 3 personal bails, each worth 5 million rupees. He was also ordered to appear before the Gang Robbery Investigation Unit in Colombo each month. A case against the suspect is currently underway under the charge of deliberately favouring a complaint under the case of allegedly taking a force of stock assets worth 140 million rupees, including gems and vehicles. Chairman of the Association for Protecting Consumer Rights, Asela Sampath, has submitted a letter to the BOC headquarters requesting information on loans taken by parliamentarians from the BOC Parliamentary Ban since 1994. He has submitted this letter under the provisions of Rights of Information Act. The 16th Scout Jamboree of the Kandy district was held at the Faculty of Education premises in Pera Denia. Commissioner of the Scouts, Jennifer Fernandez, said that the final program that held yesterday as the chief guest. 1,500 scouts joined the final jamboree. Dharmaraj College Kandy won the Best Camp Gate trophy. 55th Senkaragala Open Scouts group became the champions of the overall jamboree. A news is reported from Hapatali town that a deer has entered into a shop. The shop owners informed the wildlife officials of the Roanella area beat that the deer was taken back to the jungle later. We'll be back with foreign news after a short break.
You can make a difference. It is your duty to help eradicate dengue. Clean up your environment at least once a week. A message from the Dengue Control Unit of the Ministry of Health.
Now a look at foreign news. At least 71 people have been declared dead in a road accident in southern Ethiopia.
A truck packed with passengers plunged into a river in Sid Ama State's 300 kilometers south of Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa. The police commission stated that at least 71 people have been reported dead. Furthermore, the officials stated that the truck had missed a bridge and fell into a river. The traffic police in the region reported that the truck was overloaded, which likely caused the accident. Authorities did not provide details about the number of passengers who were on board at the time of the accident.
In the meantime, 179 people were reported dead when a passenger jet crashed in South Korea yesterday.
Aviation experts said that the pilot also made a mayday call shortly after the control tower warned about birds in the area.
South Korean fire officials and aviation experts asserted that some sort of landing gear malfunction was likely to be the reason for the crash. The pilot also made a mayday call shortly after the control tower warned about birds in the air. The Jeju airplane burst into flames as it crash-landed in South Korea's Muan International Airport. Officials stated that 179 people were reported dead and 2 crew members were the only survivors. This plane was reported carrying 181 people. The aircraft skidded across the tarmac before hitting a concrete wall and exploding into flames. South Korea's acting leader has ordered an emergency safety inspection of country's entire airline operations. The aviation disaster is South Korea's deadliest in more than 2 decades.
Prima Kutumi Fantamai.
And in your sports news tonight, name of the captain of Sri Lanka women's cricket team, ChannelEye Rupavahini, has been nominated for the Excellent Women's Cricketer of the Year 2024 at the awarding ceremony organised by the International Cricket Council.
Her name has been nominated for 3 awards at the ceremony. Meanwhile, Kamud Mendes has also been nominated for the award given for Excellence of Test Cricketer of the Year. For the award of the Excellent Women's Cricketer of the Year, along with Chamari Rupavahini Sutherland of Australia, Lola Wonderwart of South Africa and Millie Kerr of New Zealand were also nominated. Chamari Rupavahini has scored 458 runs playing in 9 ODI matches this year with an average of 65.43. Chamari's highest score in innings is 195. In bowling, she has claimed 9 wickets. Meanwhile, Chamari has scored 720 runs playing in 21 T20 matches this year. Her average is 40 runs and the highest T20 score in inning is 119 runs. She also claimed 21 wickets in bowling. It is significant that her name has been nominated for the Excellent Women's Cricketer in both ODIs and T20s. For the Excellent Test Cricketer of the Year, along with Kamud Mendes, Jasprit Bumrah of India, Joe Root and Harry Brook of England have also been nominated. Kamud Mendes has scored 1,049 runs in 9 Test matches this year with an average of 74.92. Kamud Mendes is also the 6th batsman to have surpassed 1,000 run mark this year. Kamud Mendes was also nominated for the Emerging Cricketer of the Year award. Vanidu Hasaranga and Kusan Mendes have been recommended for the Player of the Year in the ODI format.
New Zealand was able to win the second T20 match against Sri Lanka by 45 runs today. The match was played at the Bay Oval Stadium in New Zealand. After winning the toss, Sri Lankan captain Charita Salanka opted to field first. Batting first, Tim Robinson and Rachin Ravindra opened the innings for New Zealand, and Rachin Ravindra was out for 1 run when the total was at 13. Tim Robinson scored 41 runs while Mark Chapman contributed with 42 runs. New Zealand amassed a total of 186 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in their 20 overs. Mitchell Hay was unbeaten for 41 and his innings included 4 boundaries and 2 sixers. In bowling, Wanidu Hasaranga captured 2 wickets in reply. Sri Lankan innings was opened by Pathum Nissanka and Kusal Mendes. Mendes was out for 10 runs when the partnership was at 32. Pathum Nissanka scored 37 and Kusal Janit Pereira chipped in 48 while Charita Aslanka scored 20 runs. The rest of the batsmen were not able to surpass 10 runs and they were all out for 141 runs. Accordingly, New Zealand won the match by 45 runs. In bowling, Jacob Duffy captured 4 wickets with the win. New Zealand has sealed the series with a match remaining and the third T20 international would be played on 2nd of January.
Prima Kottumi, Fantamai.
That's it for tonight's English News telecast. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.